Hello and welcome to Master Jacko. This is, I think, my 6th live stream now, live maths lesson. This one, I'm going through everything to do with pie charts now. So that'll be interpreting pie charts, drawing pie charts, pretty much most questions that you will see on pie charts. So as far as I know, I haven't seen a pie chart question yet that involves using a compass where you have to draw the circle yourself. So we will not be using that to get that away, but we will be using a protractor and we'll be using a calculator as well. Okay, so first, a bit of interpreting pie charts. So these are questions that are all taken from an exam as well, different exams over the years. I will zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little bit more, a bit clearer. There you go. Right, pie chart shows information about the money Fiona spent last month. Although you can see that circle there, and you can see that is a right angle there. Yes, we know that's a quarter of the circle. What did Fiona spend most money on? And you can see here, rent and bills. This is the easiest these questions can be, okay? Rent and bills. Yeah. If you do have any comments, do post them and I will answer them either during this. If it's something I can't answer now, I could put it on my next video. These are quite easy questions, okay? Like grade 1, dead easy. What fraction Fiona's spending was on transport? Well, I could say that is 90 degrees. If you answered, you could put 90 over 360, but that simplifies to a quarter. Yeah, you can put that. Now, a bit more trickier. Fiona spent £320 on transport. How much did Fiona spend in total? So it's saying that a quarter was £320. So how many quarter in a whole? 4. So 1 quarter equals £320. So then 4 quarters, you just multiply that by 4. And just for time, I'm going to do that on my calculator. 320 times 4, which is £1,280. Yeah, so 1280. Quite straightforward questions, really, they are. Right, let's go a little bit more next one. Right then, so we're going to have to do some angles on this one. I'm just going to move the sheets underneath because I think you can see it a little bit in the picture there. There we go, that's a bit better. Right, I've got about 8 or 9 questions, but each question is like A, B, C. The pie chart shows information about the favourite pizza toppings of a group of students. They always put little examples like this: pizza or weather or sports people play or favourite colour. Use pie chart to complete the table. So it says the frequency is 18 here. Frequency, the amount of people that chose that. So we've got ham here, that's 40 degrees, so we can put 40 there. Peppers, that's a right angle, so we know that's 90 degrees. All right, mushroom, that's a whole straight line, so we know that is 180 degrees. You know, that's 90. I always write them in, just a bit easier if you write them on. I'll go zoom in a little bit so you can see it, a bit more better angle. Right, so what do I know? Mushroom, 180 degrees. And what you can do as well, write a little total here. So then you can fit, you're kind of making your own little extra row to put in. So you know that they all should add up to 360 degrees. So what I'll do is that take away those, just speed up. So I'm going to use a calculator just for speed. 360. Can you see it better? There we go. 360 minus 90 minus 180 minus 40, which equals 50. So you know that is 50. Right. I've got all the angles. Now I need to think what these frequencies could be. So I need to find out what 1 is. Okay. So I know 18 people is worth 90 degrees. So I need to know what 1 frequency is. So if I know 18 equals 90, I need to know what 1 equals. So to go from 18 to 1, divide by 18. So 90 divided by 18. And off the top of my head, I know that is 5. So on each 1 person is worth 5 degrees. So normally you'll do this, multiplied by 5, multiplied by 5. However, I don't know these numbers, so I'm going to have to do the inverse and go backwards. So 180 divided by 5, which is 180 divided by 5, which is 36. So 50 divided by 5, which is 10. 40 divided by 5, which is 8. And frequencies, add all them together. Actually, to be honest, actually reading the question isn't actually, I don't have to do that. But I will just for in case, just so I can show you. 18 plus 36 plus 10 plus 8. And they add up to 72. Yeah. Just for in case. So I'll just fill in what you can, and then you can always double check the question later on to see what else you might need to do. But on this one, it was just filling in the question. But it's a bit backwards, that was a bit tricky. Right, next one. So remember, I am recording this video as well, this live stream, so I will post it on my channel so you can watch it again and watch it back. Right then, so the circle in this one is already drawn for you. That is pretty standard. I haven't seen a question on pie charts we have to draw the circle yourself. Yeah, very unlikely you ever have to draw the circle yourself. Right, the table gives information about the languages studied by Year 11 students at School A. So here, how many students? Draw an accurate pie chart for this information. So here's my students, I will then write angle. Here, right, first you need to get a total. So I'll add on total here. Add them all up. Just going to use my calculator to make it quicker. 58 plus 33 plus 29, which is 120. Right, and I know the total of all the angles makes 360 degrees. So 120 people are worth 360 degrees. So we need to do 360 divided by 120, which equals 3. So each person is worth 3 degrees. So I just need to multiply each one of these by 3. So 33 times 3 now is 9. 58 times 3 is 174. And 29 times 3 is 87. And there you go. Now I've got all my angles. So then, protractor time. Just to make it easier to see, I'm going to just go over this line here. That is the radius. Okay. Normally, they do actually put the radius in for you. That's normally standard. They always put it there. And I'm just going to draw my angles. So it doesn't really matter which order you do it in. Still looks the same. So 174. So put your protractor here. Start at 0. Follow it all the way around. I'll scroll up a little bit so you can see it. All the way around until you hit 174, which is there. And then point, line here. And then I always label that one French for that one. And then the angle there, 174. You don't have to write the angle, but it just keeps it easier. Now, this is where people make a lot of mistakes on pie charts. The next one here for the German section is 99. But I'm not going to start there because this is a big mistake people do, and they'll put 99 and they'll write it here. Right, that'll be wrong because then they're going into each other. You turn your protractor and you start it from here, the last point. Yeah, and then you'll start and then you'll do what you just did then. So start at 0, follow it round to 99, which is around here. So there, like that. You know, that one is German. And that is 99. Right, and then the last one. Well, because there's only 3, you know this one, if I've done it right, should be 87. I don't have to actually draw this one. And you can see it is pretty much bang on 87 degrees. So that'll be 87, and that'll be Spanish. There you go. And that is a pie chart. And that's what they'll expect to see. In an exam, they will just have a template and they'll just stick it over it. And does it look like that? Yeah. Well, it'll take them a long time to measure each angle individually, just have a template to put over. But it's 4 marks. It's a lot of marks for that one. You'll get marks for doing this, and you'll get marks for finishing this off. Right. Now, a question about another pie chart then. The pie chart below shows information about the languages studied by Year 11 students at School B, a different school. Maggie says the pie chart shows that more Year 11 students more Year 11 students at School B study French. Is Maggie right? So the issue with this pie chart compared to the one at the top, we don't actually, like this one has numbers and information here, whereas this one down here, we're not given any information on this. We actually have no numbers, so we don't actually know. As far as I know, that could be 10 people that represent. So is Maggie right? Which is no. And you can just put need more information. Something along those lines. Need more information, or don't know what frequency these sections represent, or something like that. Yeah. Right, let's keep going. I'll zoom out a little bit so you can see. Right, similar one again. Pretty standard question, really. So add them together and put your total. See if you can think about what you need to do before I go through it. So total 9 plus 15, 24, add 16, that is 40. So I've got my total. And we know it's 360. I know what questions are coming, but I know what I'm going to need to do. So I'm just working out quickly. So I'll get my angle. Then I do my total amount of degrees in a pie chart divided by 40. And that, I don't even know why I'm doing that. I think that's 360 divided by 40, which is 9. So each one of these I need to multiply by 9. So that'll be 81. 15 times 9, that's 135. And 16 times 9, that is 144. So next one. So this has got a little extra question. Which Thai biscuit is the mode? So those are not sure what the mode is. Mode is the most seen or most common, what you see the most, or has the highest frequency, and it is shortbread because it's got the highest number. So shortbread. Easy marks, but students will just get confused on what the mode means. Some might put the range or something like that, but it is what you see the most. Right, draw this into this. So like last time, it's put the line here, so it's giving us the radius. If you wanted to turn the pie chart, it doesn't really matter. You could start that way. It does not matter. As long as you still get the same answer, it really doesn't matter. So like before, I'm going to go over this line here. All right, so I'm going to draw these on. So 81, 0, all around. Oh, let's go up a bit more here. So you can't see the angles at the top, but I can tell you what they are. So 81, that there, and that is digestive. 135. Remember, we start at the radius. We don't start from where we just were there. Where we're the first time, 135, all the way around. Is there. You know what that is. Custard cream, and then that one is shortbread. Nice and easy. Yeah, I've not wrote the angles on this one just to save time. Right, so that's another pie chart. Pretty straightforward. They're going to start stepping up now. So this is only for three sections. They're going to vary in difficulty. So let's go to another one. This live stream will probably be a little bit shorter than the previous ones, just because there's not as many questions compared to others that I've gone through. So here we go. Another pie chart. Table shows some information about the colours of cars parked in a car park. Yeah, someone decided to go and count the colours of cars in a car park. Don't really know why. Well, some people like to do that. So, normally pie charts to give you little extra questions as well they want you to answer. So, what fraction of the cars are white? Really important. It does say fraction, so your answer has to be a fraction. Right. How many are white? So, first you know, it's going to be 15 over something. It does say simplest form, but we'll tackle that problem in a minute. It's 2 marks, so you'll get a mark at least if you get this bottom number right. Yet again, I'll put a total. So then what's the total of all of them? Just for actually 59 in my head. 24 add 16 is 40. 55, 60. So your first mark will be 15 over 60 like that. That'll be your first mark. However, it wants simplest form. So that'll be 1/4. Okay. Right then. We can put this in a pie chart. So, right angle here. This is what most teachers will tell you. Put angle, there's your first one. Right, and all these angles will add up to 360. And we know 60 times 6 is 360. So I need to multiply each of these numbers by 6. Yeah, I'll do that on a calculator just to make it easier. So 15 times 6 is 90. 16 times 6. Even if this could be a non-calculator exam because it's quite nice numbers. But I would, if you have a calculator, use your calculator anyway, just so you know you can't make any silly mistakes. If you want to double check those numbers, you add them numbers, you should get 360 if you've done it correct. Right, now I'm going to put them in the pie chart. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to zoom out the camera too much. I'll just say what the numbers are, because otherwise it's going to be really far away. So it's now you can see a bit more what I'm doing. So yeah, again, radius down like this, and then first angle is 144. Turn it around. Yeah, again, I can spin the paper around if I want to make it easier. 144, 0, all around here, and then draw, and that is black cars, 96. So that is silver, and then it's another one, it's 90. And that is white, and then this other section here, that'll be 30, and that is blue. Just to make sure, this should measure 30 degrees, and it does. Right, little pie chart. Yet again, in the exam, they would just put a template right there and check that you're right straight away. Okay, so let's go here now. So similar one. They're giving you a bit more information now, so take some out a little bit more, and you've had a few more extra questions. So the table shows some information about the favourite sports of some students. Yeah, standard question. You always ask something like football, hockey, netball, rugby. Right, is give you an angle for one of them already. So this way, you've got to think 30 multiplied by something is 150. And I know that is 5. That way, I know all these need to be multiplied by 5. So that'll be 60, that'll be 100, and that'll be 50. And I know if I add all them together, I'll get 360 as my total. Right. I don't know if I'm going to need to know this yet, but I'm going to total the frequency, okay, just to make sure. 30, that'll be 42, 62, 72. And I can check, so 72 times 5 is 360. Right, and now I've done the hard part. Let's see what the other questions are. A student selected at random. Find the probability that their favourite sport is netball. Probability, your answer has to be a fraction. They always like to link probability and pie charts together. Is netball. So netball is 20 people out of a possible 72. It doesn't say I have to simplify my answer, so you can leave it as that. It's absolutely fine. Probability that their favourite sport is not netball. So basically add all the other totals. So that would be 52 over 72. It doesn't say I have to simplify it, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. Yeah, but you can simplify if you want to. Right, next one. Oh, draw an occupied shot of that information. I am not given a radius this time. So interestingly, compared to the others, a lot of time you do. But they are given the dots, so you know where the centre is, which is very nice of them. So your radius, I just draw it straight up. You can draw wherever you want. Any line from the centre to the edge is a radius, so it actually does not matter. Right, I'm just going to draw my angle. So the first one, 150. Is there, and that is football, and then hockey is 60. Yeah, like this, and that is, oh, you can't see it there. Hockey. Netball is 100. Oops, there you go. Yeah, these questions like this are great practice because in an exam, it'll just, you want this question to be so natural, as robotic. You just see it and you know exactly instantly what you need to do. Right, I think I've got 2 questions to go. Yeah, there's 8 questions altogether. This is a load of practice. Oh, social networks. Here you go. So it's a bit more modern question. Table shows information about 90 people's favorite social network: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest. Same, it's just a routine question. My first thing will be, write this total angle You know, the angle here is going to be 360 degrees. And total, I'll be adding all them first. Well, look at this one. It tells us 90. Right. I already know 90 multiplied by 4 gets me 360. So I know I've got to multiply each of these by 4. So I know that is 68. I know that'll be 100. 14 times 4 is 56. And then 34 multiplied by 4 is 136. And then I must draw them in. But first, what's this question? One of the people is picked at random. What is the probability they did not pick Twitter? So Twitter is 14 of them. So I need to know what the rest is. So for this question, just do 90, subtract 14, which is 76. So I know it's 76 over 90. Yeah, and it's probability. So my answer has to be a fraction. Now I'm just going to draw those angles into here. And give me a radius on this one, unlike the other one. Down there, angle 136. So there, draw it in. That is Facebook, and then 56 for Twitter. So here, start at 0, 56, job done right there. And then Instagram was 100, so 0. You're allowed to be a couple of degrees out in the exam. They're allowed to be 2 degrees either way out, and that is Instagram. And then the other one, this will be Pinterest. And if I'm right, that should be 68 degrees, and it is. Right. So, let me just double check then. Oh, my fault. I didn't just realise then that wasn't quite 68. Sorry, my Instagram was wrong. You know what? I did the very common. I'm glad I did that. I did a very common misconception then because trying to speak, I was rushing. 100 degrees. I had 0. I went to 80. I used the wrong one. 100 is there. Sorry about that. That should be that one there. So that is wrong. I'm glad I did that because that's showing you a big misconception that a lot of students do. So then I know now that, which is 68 degrees. There we go. That's the one. Sorry about that. But that's why you check it afterwards because I thought I didn't quite seem right that angle. Right, last one. Question 8. Oh, so I'm just looking at the comments now. Hi, AMT. So I'm just looking at a really good question. AMT said, yeah, about probabilities. You can actually express it as a decimal or percentage, but yes, fraction most common. Yeah, that is because you can use percentages and decimals, but some exams can be really awkward. Yeah, it's always safe to do it as a fraction. I would say it's always really safe to put it as a fraction. Yeah, because it can be quite risky. But yeah, you can, but you're running. Yeah, it's risky doing it like that one. And how are you? I'm really good. I'm glad you're on another live stream. It's fantastic. Yeah, I'm really good. Can't wait for another live stream when we're doing it. We should definitely look at some A level. Yeah, exactly. Really. I'm not teaching much A level at the minute though, so something I need to brush my skills upon. But maybe we could do a live stream where we do a bit of GCSE, a bit of A level as well, especially as exams getting nearby. Right. Last question. So I like the question actually. Right. So this one, I like this question. I was looking at it before. And it's a bit challenging, this one. It's actually a bit weird. So it's the way you kind of got to know your pie charts and know your things and know your stuff. So at first, this stumped me a little bit because I was like, you really don't not give him much information because it's giving you his total already here. I would, 360 there. All them angles have to add up to 360 total. And it's weird, this one, because the frequency is larger than 360, but the process is still the same. You're still going to do 360 divided by 720, and that you should get 0.5. And it's weird because people don't like the idea of multiplying by decimals. So you're going to multiply each one of these by a decimal, by 0.5. But on this one, you're going to go backwards the opposite way. So by multiplying by 0.5, you're actually halving the number. So that's 114. That one is. And that is 72. So that is 180. Right. And this one, we know all those have to add up to 360. So then I'm just going to do 360 and take away these, okay? So it'll be 360 minus 114 minus 72 minus 90. And now that is 84. Yeah, so then working backwards, something times 0.5 is 84. So double that one, 168. That one would throw a lot of students off quite quickly. So be careful on questions like that one. But as long as you do a lot of practice, you should be all right, be able to work it out. Yet again, we're given the tractor. We're given the center, but not a radius. So we have to put it in ourselves. And then just draw the angles as we know. So first one is 90. So here, that way. So now it's BBC1, and that's 90 degrees. And then it's 72 is the next one. So down here, 0, follow it round, 72. BBC2, and ITV is 84. So 0, follow it round, 84. Yeah, and this one's not really any question asking about probability or anything like that. It can be a bit random. Pie chart questions don't really get much harder than this, especially on foundation exam. And then channel 4, this angle should be 114 now. Yeah, and you can see it is. Unlike the last one, luckily didn't make a mistake on this one. Right, everyone. That is pie charts. I really appreciate the comments from AMT 2023. That's found great questions as well about decimals, percentages. Anyone got any questions, let me know. Message me in the community tab or anything like that, and I can maybe do it on my next video. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you on the next live stream. Take care.